Trump is going soft on TikTok. You're not happy with a lot of decisions he's making, and we just heard something right now.
Well, we got bad news.
What just happened too right now?
Well, no. I mean, I hope to be wrong, and I hope you prove me wrong. But I don't like this. I don't like this at all. That because if we go to the first article, the news came out that there's a possibility that before we go to this, that Trump is gonna stop the TikTok ban. All right, we're gonna get into it. But before we get negative, I want to get positive. If we're going to play a little bit of this video and have you guys react, because this is one of the things that affects us directly.
What are we about to watch? Trump
we're about to watch Trump talking about him. I don't know if he's going to make any, changes to the Section 230 that rules like our lives, as content creators. But he's going to enforce it. So if we can watch a little bit,
okay, go ahead.
It's going to be very important for all of us.
All right, let's see it.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens.
Nice.
I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis- or disinformation.
Booyah.
Booyah.
And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship.
Pause it here,
because he'll go for half an hour.
No. Pause it here because this is very important. That he's going to put an order for them to not destroy the evidence. A key part of the Twitter files was that they were able to hold the information and to hold the algorithm. And then right after this, because you guys need to see the extent that he's going to go. If he only does this, like...
You're happy?
I'm happy. If he only does this, like hours, as he said, hours after he gets inaugurated, it's a wrap.
Well, you could tell by the phraseology that he has the executive order basically already drafted.
Yeah, he
the
looks
way
ready to
impede
go.
and other. Is it not amazing that he looks better now than he did in 2016?
I know. He looks great.
It's superhuman.
And this...
Real quick, Alberto, just I want to make this quick point before you move on, because he's been putting out a lot of these videos recently, like probably a dozen or so since the election. This is a form of presidential communication that I don't really know if we've seen since like FDR's fireside chats when he would just sit down and talk directly to the American people. Trump is doing this thing of revolutionizing presidential communication because this is distributed through social media. It's not put out on network news. It's not put out on like an official YouTube channel. It's like, here's a Twitter and Instagram clip of the president-elect telling you about his policies directly. It's not filtered through anything. So it shows the power of platforms like X and Instagram to a lesser extent, where he's now able to communicate directly to the people, and it kind of highlights the death of establishment media, which I think is pretty awesome.
Now what he's gonna say in the second part, this is how deep he's gonna go. Like,
Okay.
I haven't heard anyone going like this thorough with
Get
this.
deep, homie.
All right, let's go.
Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian
Stanford's
project.
cook.
If any
Stanford's
U.S.
bye-bye.
university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more.
And maybe
We should also enact new laws laying out
Wait,
clear
hold
criminal
up.
penalties
Hold up, pause
for
it.
federal bureaucrats.
Listen what he said. On a period retroactive of 5 years.
Yeah.
All right. So this will entail the 2020 election. So the Hunter Biden, all those things, they're gonna investigate and they're gonna hold people accountable.
Oh, that's music to my ear.
All right. Let's keep on rolling.
Bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year cooling off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data.
It's amazing.
Fifth, the
Incredible,
time has
right?
finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter.
Hope he's gonna apply this to
Furthermore, when
online banking
users
as
of
well.
big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we'll begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
You should never have kicked me off Facebook and YouTube. Now you're all gonna suffer horrible, horrible wrath.
But listen, like how many times, especially with Vinny, like Vinny will make a sketch. We'll both. I'm like, Vinny, we're gonna get killed for this.
Yeah.
We're gonna get killed. We're gonna get banned. We talked to Rob about it, like, because I mean, the PVD podcast is a lot more civil, but this is a game changer. Like we're talking about government employees that they're the root of the problem.
I think
Like
so, too.
those guys, they move between Stanford, Facebook, DOJ, Facebook.
Who was
Twitter.
behind the election integrity project, the EIP? It was one of the. I think there was a university behind it somewhere. I'll Google.
I
that
think it was
afterwards.
Stanford, but they banned like a piece of news so big that it would have changed the vote. So this is absolutely unbelievable. And if he comes through with this, like our work as content creators, it will change forever. Like no more like, oh, should I post this? Should I post this? Like now the law of the land, the law of the United States of America will apply to whatever you post online.
It was the Stanford Internet Observatory Cyber Policy announcing the Election Integrity Partnership. And that was them. We had the video going viral. It was circulating during Matt Taibbi's Twitter files where they were announcing that they were doing indirectly. They were doing directly what the government could not do, thus indirectly doing what the government could not do directly. That is to say, censoring misinformation and disinformation and interfering with elections.
Yeah, and who's the arbitrator? Who's the one that's saying, okay, this is not good. This is.
It was Jackowitz there, the lady, the disinformation queen.
Jack,
Jankowitz?
whatever the hell her name.
All right. So after seeing that, very happy, and I can overlook what's about to happen. This is an article from September. U.S. TikTok ban. When and why will the app be outlawed? Like, I'm a big proponent of outlawing
I say yes.
TikTok and deleting it.
Outlawing TikTok for the reasons proposed in the bill. I'll try to change your mind in a second, but
All right. And this was the talk of the town during September. And this is from yesterday. Trump expected to try to halt TikTok ban, allies say. All right. And then if we go to the next article that I brought, and this is true. All right. And we had the Senate hearings. We had the Congress hearing. TikTok is a Chinese super weapon. All right, that's what it is. Remember the Tide Pod kids?
Yeah.
Okay, they got it from TikTok. Remember the people eating cereal off the toilet bowl? They got it from
Remember
TikTok.
the kids burning themselves up in the bathroom?
Remember
It's called
the kids-
the fire challenge. No, it's called suicide.
But the Chinese children, right? Their algorithm is completely different.
don't
Like
get
the
none of
app in China versus the app in the United States are completely different.
Oh, they don't get nothing that we see.
Yeah,
Zero.
none of the degen stuff.
Like especially before this enacted, before Trump makes a stronger Section 230, before that's enacted, we cannot have our biggest enemy, that is China, control and curate and manipulate an algorithm that goes to our youth.
I agree.
It cannot be done. And the other thing is the data behind it. All right. I think I have on the next slide, I have the Senate hearing. Yeah, here it is. I don't like this guy either.
Me neither.
But he made a few smart questions. We're gonna hear him.
Dan
is him,
Crenshaw.
yeah, this is him getting grilled.
Okay.
Mr. Chu, do you agree that TikTok is controlled by the CCP?
No.
Okay, I thought you'd say that. I
I'm
disagree,
from Singapore.
as you thought I might say. Here's why I disagree. Your parent company is ByteDance, right?
That's correct.
It is correct. So, many of the workers who work at ByteDance, they're Communist Party members, right?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I think, for example, the chief editor at ByteDance, Zhang Vuping, is the Communist Party secretary, correct?
He works on the Chinese business, not on TikTok.
Right. He works for ByteDance, the
He
parent
works on
company.
the Chinese business.
Right, the parent company of TikTok.
The Chinese business is called Douyin.
Yeah, but it's all associated with ByteDance, right?
So ByteDance owns a number of businesses.
Right.
They are
You all report to ByteDance. Everybody's part of ByteDance. Okay.
is very,
And
very
do you know of any
annoyingly
other
evasive.
employees that work for ByteDance that are part of the Chinese Communist Party?
like I said, they are. ByteDance owns Chinese businesses and they operate in
trust
China.
You don't know how many,
Well,
but you
anyhow, he
acknowledge
keeps on
many
avoiding-
must be
He's gonna
card-carrying
avoid you.
members.
Stop it. By the way, this is the same guy that was like, "I'm Singaporean."
Yeah,
like, They're like,
exactly.
bro.
by the way, like you might be right technically. Like everybody in China, or at least the vast majority, are probably members of the CCP. So it's just statistically true.
yeah.
It is. And the thing is, like, we know dirty tricks that American companies play on the American people, okay? And if I'm gonna get people messing with my data, it better be Americans, all right? I'm
gonna get spied on.
If I'm gonna get spied on, if they wanna know who my aunt is, like it better be in American soil by American corrupt people.
You damn right. That's
All right,
some
and I'm
Chinese-
against it. I'm against it. I'm very against them spying on me. I don't even use social media unless I'm being paid to use social media.
Yep.
Right? I don't have social media of my own. But on the other hand, if the TikTok thing, we don't cap it right now, because you know how strong algorithms are. You're all, you know, they can change the thoughts of a whole generation. I think the whole Israel-Palestine thing got a lot of conservatives scared of how much TikTok can sway the youth. You know, you had people sharing Osama bin Laden's
Osama bin Laden being a hero.
being a hero, all right? So this is too much power for a foreign entity to hold, and maybe I will look like a boomer now, but I do not understand what's the upsize of posting vertical videos on TikTok compared to Instagram. Like I maybe the algorithm is more addictive on TikTok, but it's the same purpose. You know, like you have the same features, the same comments, the same everything. So let's bring back spying on people to America and let's ban TikTok.
I'm
TikTok is for kids. I get all my TikTok content on Instagram Reels a week later like an adult.
like like a grown man. But
Well,
see, I'm anti because listen, until I'm going back to the COVID thing. Until they're held accountable for their shit, I don't want none of their shit here. I don't want TikTok or any of that shit because they're poisoning the youth. How about change the algorithm to be what your kids listen to, like watch in China?
At the time of the bill, the ban of the TikTok ban, I was against it, still am, because the wording of that bill was going after things with, you know, foreign owned or foreign basically governed or dictated. And I said they're going to use that as a Trojan horse to go after Truth Social by arguing that Trump is a Russian asset and therefore Truth. So, and the bottom line also, your concerns about TikTok as a national security issue, they already have laws in effect to deal with that. They got the Espionage Act. They didn't need to have basically a bill targeting a specific company when they had existing laws to do it. I could only see that bill being weaponized. I hate TikTok too. That's TikTok too.
TikTok too.
But the bill was a Trojan horse. I would be happy if Trump undoes
The
it.
bill was atrocious. It was atrocious. So
It was atrocious horse.
An atrocious Trojan horse.
It was atrocious Trojan horse. Say that 3 times.
I saw the Senate hearings and I read some of the bill, and it was a Trojan horse. I agree with you. But on the same breath, I'm hoping right now that the whole TikTok situation, etc., is, even if you look at it from a business standpoint, we can't have China like copy whatever we're doing, because it's a copy of Snapchat, it's a copy of Vine. We can't have them copy our intellectual property and then become the #1 platform in the world. We can't do that. We either ban them, put tariffs on them, but we can't have our children being controlled by the CCP. Like, I have great respect and I love the Chinese people. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
I read about China. I'm huge on PF
You eat
Chang.
Chinese food.
I like PF Chang.
I like
Likes
PF
PF Chang's.
It's a culture that you know spans a millennia. Like it's absolutely wonderful.
Jackie
Like,
Chan.
the art, the everything. But
Mr. Miyagi. No, he's Japanese.
I'm against.
My bad.
I'm
Hentai.
against. I'm
Their
against
ability to build
communism.
walls.
He plays checkers. Come on, you got it all.
I got it all. Maybe I should be ambassador. Donald Trump, if you want to put me as ambassador to China, I'm available. Well, you need to talk to Pat first.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So that's my take on it. I don't know. I just want to bring this.
I'm anti. Like I said, I would. The bill is ridiculous, but I say China's not going to be making money and brainwashing people here. I'm anti. Anything that China wants to do here.
The silver lining, TikTok has allowed us to identify the enemy a lot easier thanks to libs of TikTok. They put it out there for us to see, and if it's algorithmically boosted, thank China for revealing our enemies at home.
I think a good American company like Microsoft should buy them. That'd be great.
Right? Yeah. Spy on us the American way.
Who's
right?
more untrustworthy, the CCP or Bill Gates? Connor looks like he's got something to say.
All
over
right,
there.
Connor.
Connor, close us, send us home.
I agree with Umberto. If tech oligarchs and online tyrants are going to be controlling us and collecting our data, I'd rather it be homegrown Americans, not because they're any better, but because they're easier to get to. So
I like that.
that's the solution. But I also do support banning TikTok, not for national security reasons, not for anything political, but just because I want to see every person who films themselves dancing in public cry. Again, that would be funny to me.
What's wrong with
So
dancing?
Let's get rid of TikTok.
What's wrong with dancing in public on Instagram like we used to?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that wasn't a thing before. There wasn't the dances, like the choreographed dances, like that.
Okay, I'm
wasn't
gonna
a
come
thing
in hot
before.
dancing stupid. I hate dancing. I don't like it at all. It's the most wasteful activity.
Are you gonna dance at your wedding?
It's a really
I
smart
will not
decision.
dance.
Is
I
your
will
favorite
not dance
movie the
because I
first
don't
half of
partake on
Footloose?
dance. Huh?
Is your favorite movie the first half of Footloose?
Yes, that's my favorite movie.
Some people believe that dancing is the foreplay to relations.
When was the last time you danced?
I do not dance.
You don't do. You do.
Period.
How about you, Rob?
The 4B movement taking off. No one's dancing.
Never
Rob's
dance.
a
What's the
stripper.
point?
Rob strips on the
I
weekend.
Chippendales. I don't like to tell. Thanks for blowing my spot.
I don't dance, but it's because I dance like a spaghetti noodle. I have no rhythm, and it's very embarrassing.
I'm picturing
So I
Elaine
don't
from
dance-
Seinfeld right now.
I don't dance for that reason.
You move very weird. Even your.
I could do the worm. That's the
Even-
But you know what the best dance is? You know what? I do this dance all the time.
Oh, we do this.
The
dance all
weave.
time.
I love that. I love that football players now are celebrating in the end zone like that. It's
But
something.
I always thought that was people doing things to genitalia with their hands. That is not what's going
Oh,
on.
you've never
Oh,
seen.
it's Trump's little dance.
And if you've ever been on Twitter, people have animated those being in Trump's hand, and it does mimic that. But no, that is the Trump
It's really
dance.
bad, but that's because he's. Well, when you're a billionaire, you're not. You're just the most minimal. Time is money. Right?
I've seen the accordion. I've never seen the
Yeah,
genitals.
the
in
order.
the
Oh,
hand.
you haven't. You wait till Rob's gonna show you something that's gonna disgust you. But anyway, guys, great. So if you like this clip, click right here, and if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.